Often when we're talking to people who have obsessive compulsive disorder, the question comes up around the topic of uncertainty. How can I accept uncertainty? Why do I feel so uncertain about certain things? And so let's talk about that a little bit. One of the things that's interesting to me is that OCD's nickname is the doubting disorder. Now here's what's really kind of perplexing. OCD demands a 100% answer from you about whatever it is that you had an intrusive thought, image, or urge about. And yet, when you give it the answer, it says, are you sure? I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. Therefore, you can never actually satisfy OCD with what it wants because it's demanding certainty, but it will never accept it because its nickname, again, is the doubting disorder. So how can the doubting disorder ever accept something to be 100% certain, even though it's demanding that? Sometimes I use this example. If you're old like me and you ever played Atari, Atari went up to 999,999 points. And if you scored one more point, it went back to 0. So imagine you're playing Atari, but your OCD says you have to score 1,000,000 points. Well, you can't do it. Every time you get one more point, not from 999,999, flips back down to 0 again. So OCD is telling you, keep trying, parentheses, but you're never actually going to get there. But keep trying. And that's what people feel like when they have obsessive compulsive disorder. There's never that feeling of satisfaction. There might be little glimpses of it where the ritual works or that compulsion feels satisfying for a moment, but then that obsession comes back and people have to do it all over again. When you don't believe that you can handle things, you get in a lot of trouble, right? Or when you tell yourself that you're not going to be able to do something, or when your OCD is saying to you, there's no way that you're going to be able to do this, but keep trying anyway, that's a problem. And one example I use sometimes is I'll take a pen and I'll hold it and I'll say, okay, there's no way that I can catch this pen. It's absolutely impossible. I can't do it. And if I drop it, oh, I caught it. Oh, wait, well, I'll try it again. I absolutely can't do it. There's no way that I can do this whatsoever. Oh, I caught it, right? I can prove to myself that even though I think something won't work, that it can work. But OCD is still going to throw doubts into that. And it's going to say, but what if the next time this happens, you do drop the pen and then something really horrible or awful would happen? So how do we go back to getting people to accept uncertainty? One example I'll use is if you drive a car, every time you get in that car, you don't have a guarantee that you're going to arrive where you were hoping to arrive to. Your car might break down, you might get a flat tire, you might get in a car accident. There's all sorts of things that could occur that prevent you from arriving where you were hoping to go. And yet, people still drive. They accept the fact that there's some uncertainty involved in that activity every time they do it. You're in my basement right now. I have to come downstairs every day to get here. I have no guarantee every time I open that door to come downstairs that I won't go falling down the stairs and just end up in a big pile at the bottom of the staircase. It could happen, right? It is a possibility. And yet, I take the stairs on a daily basis. So OCD says it's fine to have uncertainty in all sorts of areas of your life, but not in these 1, 2, or 3 areas. In those areas, we must have 100% guarantee that something bad won't happen. What I try to do when I'm working with people from a therapy point of view is get them to apply what they're already doing in 99.99999% of their life, which is accepting uncertainty about all of these things, and apply that to these 1, 2, or 3 other things that they aren't accepting uncertainty about, and get them to realize they can live with uncertainty about these things just like they do about everything else. And when I say these things, it doesn't matter what they are, because then people will say to me, but this thing that I'm uncertain about is really awful. It's really horrible. It's unacceptable. There's no way that I can live my life knowing that I don't have a guarantee that I won't do or will do this, or this. And I would say, yes, you can. You can absolutely live that way just because we already know that people without OCD live that way. They're able to sit with the idea that no matter what pops into their head, sure, that could or couldn't happen, but it doesn't have to have a negative influence on their life. When you get to that point where you're realizing You don't have to be ruled by the thoughts or the images or urges that pop in your head. You'll start to feel better. When you realize that just because you think something doesn't make it true, you'll start to feel better. When you get to the point where you're not living as if there are thought police out there trying to catch you and arrest you based on a thought, you'll start to feel better. But many people with obsessive compulsive disorder experience something we call thought-action fusion. The idea that a thought is as bad as an action. Thinking something is just as bad as doing something. So I'm going to do something right now to test this. I hope my ceiling collapses on me and the film crew in the next 10 seconds. I hope we're all crushed by my house and that we all die. Let's see what happens. 7, 8, 9, 10. It didn't happen, and I didn't do a ritual to make it happen either, or to even make it not happen. My thinking doesn't make things occur. And when we can get that basic lesson across to people, and they learn that it is okay if something pops in their head, no matter what they think about it or how they feel about it, that they can handle it, they'll start to go and live their life feeling better, being more productive, and doing less compulsions to neutralize these thoughts, images, or urges. Because truly, it's the compulsions that have massive quantities of interference in people's lives, and we want to see people get rid of those. In fact, that's where our name comes from at NoCD. It's no compulsive disorder. That's what our founder, Stephen Smith, was thinking when he started NoCD. How can we help people decrease the compulsions that they're doing in their life? How can we get people to do response prevention, the elimination of the compulsions and the safety behaviors, so they can go and learn that they don't have to be ruled by things that pop into their head, and they can live the life that they want to live. When we're doing therapy, my goal is not to help you get rid of the things that pop into your head. My goal is to get you to recognize that you can handle them, that you don't have to have any reaction to them. For example, I have treated numerous people who are afraid that they would harm other people. I've probably treated at least 10 people who are afraid if they were on the stairs with someone else, that they would push those people down the stairs. My therapy with them was to stand on a stair in front of them with their hands on my back, telling them for hours sometimes to push me down the stairs. None of them ever did. But there's an interesting side effect of that happens to me, which is now, because I've treated that so often, if I'm ever on the stairs with anyone, I will think about pushing them down the stairs. I personally have absorbed so many things from the people that I have treated, and now that thought randomly pops into my head when I'm on the stairs. Guess what I've never done, though? I've never pushed somebody down the stairs. So I'm not here to help you get rid of a thought or to stop it from happening. I'm here to help you realize who cares if it does, and it doesn't have to mean anything if it does pop into your head. If you want to get started on therapy, reach out to us at NoCD. You can go to treatmyocd.com, or you can go to nocd.com, or you can download the NoCD app. On there, you can hit the button for therapists that will link you to our care team. You can have a call with our care team. It's free, and they'll discuss with you how we might be able to assist you with getting teletherapy for your obsessive compulsive disorder with one of our trained exposure and response prevention and OCD therapists.